So, you're ambitious. Like, you actually have goals. You're not clueless. You know the kind of life you want, you've thought about it 100 times, maybe even planned it out in your head. But then there's this other side of you, the one that just doesn't do anything. And that's the frustrating part, because it's not like you don't know what to do. You do. You know you should be working or studying or going to the gym. But instead, you just sit there, scrolling, switching between apps, telling yourself you'll start in a bit, and somehow, that in a bit never comes. And then the day ends, and you get that feeling, that quiet guilt where you're like, man, I could have done so much today. And it keeps happening, not just once. It becomes a pattern. And slowly, you stop saying, I need to fix this, and start thinking, maybe this is just who I am. Like you've convinced yourself you're just a lazy person. But honestly, that's not true. You're not lazy, you're just stuck. Now, how do we fix this? Most advice online tells you to fix your environment. Delete apps, wake up early, remove distractions. And yeah, that helps in the short term. But it doesn't solve the real problem. Because the real problem is this. Starting something feels way harder than it should. There's actually a word for this: inertia. In physics, it means things at rest stay at rest, and things in motion stay in motion. And your brain works the same way. Think about it. The moment you say, okay, I need to sit down and work, it suddenly feels like a huge task. So what do? You delay it. And that's where you get stuck. Not in the work itself, but in starting the work. So instead of trying to force yourself to be more disciplined, you need to make starting easier. There are two simple ways to do that. Most of the time you don't start because the task feels too big. I need to write this whole assignment. I need to work for the next 3 hours. That already sounds exhausting. Instead, shrink it. Tell yourself, I'll just write 50 words. That's it. Just start. And once you do, you'll usually keep going. Because the hard part wasn't the work. It was getting started. If you really don't feel like doing something, just tell yourself you'll do it for 2 minutes. After that, you can stop. But what usually happens is, you don't stop. You go from doing nothing to actually doing something. It's like a space shuttle using most of its fuel just to launch. At first, it barely moves. But once moving, the effort becomes easier, faster, and harder to stop. You can apply these methods to pretty much anything, whether that's going to the gym, studying, working on something you've been putting off for weeks, or any other thing you can think of. As Mark Twain once said, the secret of getting ahead is getting started.